What's happening, man? You feel me? It's your boy Finesse Dog. You did coming at you with another one. You feel me? Like I said, the consistency is key in 2025, and the big 2025. Consistency is key. So we're gonna keep coming with the heat. You feel me? Appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the folks that been subbing up. You dig? Like I said, we on that new channel. We on that Finesse Dog Live. You dig? We still gonna be posting on the gaming channel, but we on that Finesse Dog Live for sure. We got 2 channels now. So you feel me? Hey, y'all boys sub up, man. Y'all folks sub up. You feel me? And we gonna get this shit cracking. You feel me? I'm about to get into this. What the hell happened to COD Warzone? Oh boy. Boy, don't even get me started on Warzone, boy. Boy, don't even get me started on Warzone. Hey, man. Hey, I don't know what Call of Duty is doing. Listen, I thought Black Ops 6 I thought that was about to bring the vibes back. It done did the opposite. You feel me? So, hey, man, we finna get into it. We ain't even going yap too crazy, but hey, I'm puzzled at what's going on with Call of Duty right now. It's in a terrible space. I ain't even finished my camo grind. That's how bad Call of Duty has been. I haven't even finished my camo grind. I plan on going back to it at some point, but I ain't even been motivated to play. You feel me? So let's go ahead and get into it.
Cast your mind back to March 2020. You may have been one of the many people playing Call of Duty Warzone. Free to play and a fresh take on the...
I ain't gonna lie. Even though 2020 was fucked up, even though there's a lot of shit going on in the pandemic, hey, just being at the crib, just chilling, playing the video game, it was some of the best times. Like, facts. Just playing the game without, you know what I'm saying, having to worry about anything else. All I was doing, it was so crazy. I was going to work, right, for 1 week, and then I had off one whole other week because it was a 1 week off, 1 week on schedule because of COVID. So it's like, nigga, I'd be playing the game for a week straight, just chilling, and they was paying us not PTO, but unemployment. We was getting unemployment, like. So I was at the crib chilling, getting money, playing a game all day, doing nothing, like vibing. You feel me? It was some of the best gaming times, bro.
The battle royale genre implemented into a gritty Modern Warfare rebooted universe. Many Call of Duty fans experiencing 150 player combined arms battles with infantry and vehicles on a large map for the very first time. Right. Intense combat and a second chance at life should you win a brutal 1v1 fight in the gulag, or your teammates gathered enough money to buy you back at the last second while the play space shrinks around you. The loadout system allowed you to customize your own preferred arsenal, tweaking and meddling with weapon builds in the gunsmith. The guns felt varied, viable, punchy, with realistic function, accurate reloads and more recoil. They sounded incredible. The game was just pure fun and offered a great space to kick back with your friends and have a laugh in a Call of Duty sandbox like never before. Skip to January 2025 and things have significantly changed for Call of Duty and Warzone.
Tell me about
the situation is not good. The player count is falling. The last time I personally played Warzone was when they released the Area 99 map on
They talking about Warzone on Steam, at least. They talking about Warzone lost half of its, or not Warzone, Call of Duty lost half of its players. If that's not alarming to COD and the people up at Activision and Xbox, because they own that shit now, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what they doing.
November 14th last year.
Mind you, I have not, since Black Ops 6 came out, I have not played one game of Warzone because it's been that bad. The cheaters, things being super buggy, things just not, the movement being wrong, everything was just wrong. You know what I'm saying? The connection, the server tick rate or whatever, everything was just bad.
Yeah, I played about 5 matches in total on that. I made one video and I logged off. All of my real life friends don't play the game anymore. The milkman doesn't play the game anymore.
Facts. When I get on Call of Duty, even just to play multiplayer, just to grind camos, yo, there's nobody on. There's nobody online on my friends list. Like, it might be the same 3 people, 4 people every time. But I never can play with anybody because nobody gets on there, bro. Nobody wants to play. We're talking about COD. We're talking about Call of Duty. Like, when I first got Black Ops 6, everybody was playing. But as the weeks went on, boy, the fall off.
My content creator friends don't play the game anymore. We don't talk about it at all. There's no desire to play right now.
None.
But why and what the hell happened here? Well, in this video, I'm going to give some feedback and try to understand and explain what happened.
Well, nobody I know play the game.
I'm going to keep it as brief as I can, and I'm going to make some assumptions. This is more how I feel. there's going to be some feels over reels here, but everything that I say is based on my experience with this game and from listening to other people's experiences and viewpoints. I realize how hard it must be to make a massive game like this, but consider this some constructive criticism from a fan. You won't agree with me on everything, and that's perfectly fine. I'm going to be wrong about some things, but do let me know your thoughts below. But this is how I feel about the current situation, and hopefully offers some potential solutions. I'm doing this because I used to love playing Warzone on a daily basis. Now I don't touch the thing.
If you go back and look at my PlayStation, like my trophies and how much hours I have in all my games, the games I played, fam, I think in Modern Warfare, because that's when Warzone came out, was around 2019. Modern Warfare, I had like 2,000 plus hours just because of Warzone. I swear on everything.
And I want to see it improve. We'll be discussing some general COD stuff in here too. Now, I want to be clear that I'm also making this video from the perspective of a gamer rather than someone who makes YouTube videos for a living. Forget about that. I've played almost all of the Call of Duty games on PC in online multiplayer since the very first Call of Duty set in World War II. I was running around Karantan and Stalingrad, bragging out on a 56k modem, having a blast. Before that, it was Medal of Honor Allied Assault. I've seen it all. Things have changed a lot though for Call of Duty since then. I'm also predicting that with COD bringing back Verdansk in March or April this year, as the rumors go, they are hoping that it's going to reinvigorate the game and the players will come flooding back. However, I don't think this will be...
I think that's cap. I think people will come back, but if they're betting on Verdansk to save the game for the vibes and for the what do you call that, nostalgia, in a nostalgia sense, no. If the game is buggy, if there's still an immense amount of cheaters, and if the game is just overall bad, people are gonna log on for maybe a couple of weeks, maybe not even, maybe a week, just to feel it, just to get some sort of a vibe back. But niggas won't drop that shit like a hot potato.
The case unless there are significant meaningful changes, because there are many fundamental issues with the current build that will overshadow any
if they don't come with some with a bunch of crazy fixes around Verdansk when the Verdansk finally drops, might as well just go ahead and skip right next to the next Call of Duty, and if people will even trust you when that comes about in the fall.
Nostalgia that will quickly fade away. So 2025 Warzone, what are the problems? We're going to start with gameplay. The current iteration of Warzone as a whole is too complicated, especially for new and returning players. 2020 Warzone was simple, and I've broken this gameplay bit down into sections. First up, we're going to talk about movement. The movement in 2020 Warzone was basic. You had aim, shoot, sprint, tactical sprint, slide, and a contextual weapon mount. It was easy to understand and simple to get to grips with for new or existing COD players. 2025 Warzone integrated with Black Ops 6, and it took on the new Omni movement system. You can now sprint in any direction.
See, me personally, I ain't gonna lie, I would consider myself pretty decent at COD. I love the Omni movement. I ain't gonna lie, I love the Omni movement. People say, oh, it's a skill gap, and yeah, it is to a degree. If you got the Omni movement down pat, oh, you can for sure punish people. But I love the Omni movement. If they didn't go back and then we just kept Omni movement going forward, I'm completely fine. If they did go back, I'm kind of fine with that too, because I was pretty decent even without the Omni movement. But I love the Omni movement. Nah, for real.
Direction, dive through the air in any direction, lie on your back and shoot, dive, slide.
Never dive in Omni movement. You're getting fried. you're getting fried.
I'd get up really quick, continue shooting, crouch slide. It has many complexities leading to unpredictable, frustrating, and confusing
that was a W.
It's difficult to understand just from a base level, featuring many customizable options too that confuse players, especially
I always thought too, why can't I dive and shoot? You could always kind of dive in Call of Duty. In certain games, they had the dive mechanic, certain iterations, but like, why can't I dive and shoot? So when Omni movement came about and they finally made it so you can do that, I'm like, yo, that's what I've been asking for forever. Like, just better movement, more fluid movement. So I like Omni movement.
While it may have been a fun change of pace for multiplayer in Black Ops 6 on small maps with fast respawns, I feel like it isn't well suited to a Call of Duty Battle Royale experience. Intrinsically linked to this is a severe lack of consistency. This is a big issue. Every year a new COD game releases and they integrate that into Warzone. The result of this is that there's no through line and base understanding for the gameplay, which confuses players. Warzone 2020, basic, easy to understand.
Separate
and then Cold War releases, guns get quicker, TTK gets quicker, movements faster. Next,
it always changes because a new Call of Duty always comes out.
World War II setting, map design ethos changes,
always new
overpowered
mechanics.
planes in the sky, bad visibility, and then Warzone 2, massive.
And then you got different like teams making COD. Like you got Raven, then you got Infinity Ward, and you got what's the name? It'll come back to me, but they all got different ideas and how they want to do COD. Like Raven introduced the Omni movement. Sledgehammer, god damn it, Sledgehammer. Raven introduced Omni movement, but if you go back 2 CODs ago when Infinity Ward had it, they said kaput. Well, they took the movement completely out the game. So that's what really messes Warzone up. The fact that you got multiple teams working on Call of Duties, and every time one is introduced, they come with new mechanics, and you got to integrate it with Warzone, and it completely messes up Warzone. So, because Warzone should kind of be its own standalone thing.
Sweeping changes. They add an inventory system. They add AI, strongholds. It's now a mix between BR and an extraction game. Snipers are changed, and the pace is slowed down excessively. Modern Warfare 3, they revert most of that, and you have a weird hybrid that's been hodgepodged together, playing on an uninspired large map, Urzikstan, with no character. Black Ops 6, completely new movement
I think I only
system.
played like less than
Still
10
on the
games
same
on
big map.
Urzikstan.
There's no ground zero for the players. And sometimes players might not necessarily like that year's flavour of COD either, yet they're forced to have it in Warzone.
Right.
Many have favourites. Some love the Black Ops type gameplay, some hate it, some prefer Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward for Modern Warfare. There's too much pulling and pushing, and I imagine that the dev teams are constantly bickering on what their vision of Warzone is for whatever year, yanking the game in different directions, time and time again, taking one step forward and 3 steps back. Problems and bugs that were previously fixed return again and again. Think about Counter-Strike. That game released in 1999. It's inherently the same game today, one of the most played games ever on PC. PUBG, there's a foundation they've stuck to, still incredibly popular. Warzone, it keeps flip-flopping, there's no conviction in the game design, and this is hurting it on many levels, and the choice to integrate it into the yearly cycle of Call of Duty games is not working. Next, guns. Why is there over 160 weapons in the game? This kludge of Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 6, it cannot be balanced. It's bloated, overwhelming.
That's because in every iteration, they introduce different guns. Even though for the most part, it'd be the same guns, like MP5, you feel me? Like XM4, like it'd be the same guns, like Car 98, but it's like every Call of Duty, because they go to different eras. One Call of Duty might be in the future, then one might be in the past, and they might have the similar guns but different like models of those guns. So it's like, I agree.
Thinking about all these guns that you have to level up now, which takes way longer than it used to, by the way. Only 5 of them get used most of the time. It just seems so unnecessary.
You to put that time in, boy.
And the gear, there's too much gear, too many options. What's this? RDB. Is that a life ring? Do I have to be in water to use that? This is a Semtex. That doesn't really look like a Semtex, but whatever. A spy camera? What? So why would I want to take a picture in a battle royale game? What kind of spots people? It's a waste of time. Never going to use that again. What's this vest on the ground here? Oh, there's a different one here. Why is this board game from the 80s here? What does that do then? There's just too much stuff in the game.
There's definitely a lot of
Next, the game itself is not really a battle royale anymore. It plays more like TDM on a large map where there are 1,000 ways to respawn. You get your loadouts almost instantly, and the map just happens to get smaller and smaller until one person or team wins. There are way too many options to respawn. You don't feel the danger or value your life in Warzone like you used to, and that takes away a key component of the game that made it fun and interesting.
I can see why somebody would say that.
Warzone 1 struck a nice balance with this, but they've taken respawns in the main battle royale mode too far in the wrong direction.
I think that's because what's the name? Resurgence got real popular. Resurgence got real popular, and people were so used to respawning and coming back. They like, let's give people more ways to come back, like jailbreaks and other things, other than just buying people back from the buy station or the gulag. So, and they got respawn tokens now. It's a bunch of shit.
Direction now. Many changes they made, in fact, have steered the game away from its original vision. There's no downtime anymore. respawns, redeploy beacons that can move you around vast distances of the map in a few seconds, fast zip lines everywhere connecting buildings together, horizontal and vertical. The pace is relentless and you don't have time to breathe. Those quiet moments that you had in 2020 when you were looting, moving from point A to point B, working out how much money you had together to see if you could buy a loadout yet, chatting, catching up with your mates, socializing while you play, that's all gone. That's not possible anymore. Those moments were needed. People enjoy those moments. The peaks and valleys of 2020 Warzone are what made it addictive and interesting.
Some people just play different. Some people play fast paced, so they like the zip lines and shit.
Nowadays, it's just a hyper fast TDM with a shrinking play zone. Most players just run at each other full speed and hold down fire. The basis of a semi-authentic, realistic map that we used to have has been replaced for intense player movement and rotation. Moving on, vehicles. Useless now, no one uses them.
Move around, rotate, and just chill until the circle closes up
vast distances in a few seconds. Vehicles in Warzone 2020.
Some people who like the zip lines and all those because you can go get people quick. If people are camping up top of a building, you can hit a zip line and go get their ass. You feel me? That's at least a way you can. Probably not the best decision, but there's different play styles.
Were fun. Big part of the gameplay loop. Driving around as a squad in a big truck, a jeep, relocating in a helicopter, or having to bail on.
One thing I say about this, the cars in Warzone from Warzone 1 to where they are trash. Like, you might as well not even jump in a jeep. Like, you feel me?
To a roof at the last second because
it was convenient to get in the jeep and dip around real quick though.
This was exciting and it offered unique gameplay scenarios that COD didn't have before. The vehicles now handle poorly. They can be destroyed easily.
Terrible.
They might as well not be in the game. And the map design has hampered the use of vehicles too. The other side of this is that vehicles also created epic and memorable moments for infantry who were fighting against them.
Oh my god. Wait.
Go on.
Wait. Oh! No way. Oh my god.
No, Jack. No way. That is ridiculous.
Oh, you got him.
Hitting long-range RPG shots on helicopters and Berthas as they screamed by, being chased down on the main roads by quad bikes, cinematic Michael Bay moments, firing javelin rockets at armored personnel carriers, setting proximity mine traps on the roads and bridges, using C4, sniping a pilot. That's all gone now. Doesn't happen anymore.
I remember C4 in the beginning of Warzone was crazy.
I recognize that some of the vehicle systems were overpowered and they could be annoying at times. For example, fighting a truck that can instantly accelerate to 200 miles per hour and roadkill you, but they've been nerfed to the point now where they're irrelevant, and I think that's a shame.
Don't even make sense to even jump in anymore.
Audio. This could have its own section, video, but I wanted to include it in gameplay here because it is one of my biggest complaints with the game, and for me, it has a massive negative impact on my experience.
I seen somebody say, I think it was Joe. I was watching a YouTube, Twitch stream, and he was saying like in Fortnite when people run, you can see their footsteps directions. Like it shows you kind of like where the footsteps are kind of coming from the direction. They should probably, that's a good idea in Fortnite. That was a W ad for Fortnite, or I think they've had that since the beginning. That would be a good ad for COD since y'all can't seem to get the audio right.
I don't think Warzone has ever had good audio. You can't hear footstep sounds until they're right next to you. The footstep sounds get muted and muddied by other audio in the game. The engine does an awful job with multiple footsteps at once. There's a weird reverb effect now that's confusing. It's hard to tell if someone's above or below you. Parachutes don't make noise a lot of the time and someone can just land on you without you hearing a thing. You put this on...
Last time I played Warzone, parachutes were damn near meta. Like, you can't hear them. You can't hear the little zip no more. You can't hear that shit no more.
Altogether, and to me, it makes me feel like I'm not connected to the game. Like, I feel like I'm gliding around in
somebody,
space
they can't hear you.
Not grounded in the experience. My ears are not giving me the information and feedback that I need to understand the environment that I find myself in. And when I get killed by an entire squad who tactical sprinted up to me at full speed, and I watch the kill cam, my mouth agape with what I see, I alt tab, I watch my recording back, and all I can hear, just to check, just to make sure I'm not crazy, half a second before I die is 3 small pitter-patter footsteps. That is an incredibly frustrating and disconnected experience for a player that happens all of the time.
He just checked that corner.
Now, audio is a very contentious issue in this game because there are 2 main schools of thinking with it that fight each other. The first school is very anti-accurate audio because people think that if you've got good audio in COD or Warzone, it will just promote camping and players won't want to move around the map at all for fear of being pre-fired or noticed too easily. The other school of thinking is pro good audio, and that's the one that I assign myself to, because to me, I think this through. Which one would I rather have, whether I win or die? Let's think of a scenario. You're in a building, moving through to the next zone, and you have a firefight with a squad at the end of a corridor. You get bogged down. Maybe you take out one of theirs, they take out one of yours, but you're still in the fight, reloading, whatever. Then all of a sudden, behind you, another 3-man squad appears that rushed up to your building and start shooting you in the back. If you had good audio there, you hear that other squad coming and you can act accordingly. You can flank, disengage, move so you're not in line of sight from a specific window, and get ready to fight another team behind you. Whatever, you might win, you might lose. With bad audio, like how it is in Warzone at the moment, that squad runs up to the building you're in. You don't hear them, they shoot you in the back and kill you. What would be more satisfying and interesting to me in that scenario? Spoiler, it's the one where I can hear the squad coming regardless of if they kill me or not, because I would have had a level of understanding from the knowledge the game gave me before the fight, and I can act on that, regardless if I act correctly, incorrectly, regardless of if I die or not. For me, the game would be way more engaging and interesting that way if it A, had accurate footstep audio, so when people are sprinting around I can understand roughly where they are, and B, gave players the option to crouch or walk almost silently, so if a player wants to be as quiet as they can be, sneak around, they still have the option, but they have to slow down a bit and think more about the engagement. A bit of risk, reward and strategy creeps in, rather than how it is at the moment, players just sprint around holding W and shift because they know how bad the footstep audio is and the chances of someone hearing them are low. To me, having better audio and more context of the situation around you is better whether you lose or win the engagement. And the audio is so bad that some PC players will spend time installing third-party software, adjusting and tweaking their EQ settings in Windows to completely distort the sound of the game just so they can raise the footstep audio slightly. Many pro players in tournaments, MP and Warzone, were using this and openly said that if they didn't, they felt like they were at a disadvantage. Some players consider this cheating too, but it shows how desperate people are for good audio. Overall, the whole audio system and way of thinking with
got a PC at this point playing Call of Duty
and COD is a huge overhaul in my opinion. So that's my core gameplay section complete. Next, we're going to move on to aesthetics. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that a skin in a Call of Duty game is going to ruin my day, because it isn't. Skins can be fun, stupid, and they make a lot of money for the publisher. They support the game, especially if it's free to play. You know, if I see someone running around as a unicorn, a shark, Nicki Minaj, an emoji, whatever the hell these things are, I'm not going to start crying about it and quit the game. As long as it's just cosmetic and it doesn't have gameplay benefits like the Rose skin did, I can live with it. I've bought stupid...
The Rose skin, legendary. Legendary. You seen one of those in Superstore Warzone 1? Run. Run.
Goofy skins and takedowns myself. If you buy them, that's your money, your choice. However, and I do think that this is important to many people, Call of Duty used to have an identity, an aesthetic. For many gamers, especially those who are late 20s to mid to late 30s, they grew up with the original COD trilogy set in World War II, then the original Modern Warfare trilogy, up until about the first Black Ops game, I'd say. All of those games together collectively had a vibe to them. This is what Call of Duty looked like back then. It was the cool, gritty military game with realistic outfits and guns. Yeah, the gameplay was arcadey, and you'd have bombastic action moments in the campaigns and multiplayer, but it looked like this. It had a feeling in the visuals, the worlds, the guns, even the audio. That has completely disappeared now, gone out of the window. Call of Duty does not have an identity anymore. It's akin to Fortnite in the range of art style.
I feel like even looking at these screenshots, right? These are kind of like more story mode-ish to me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like single player mode, like, which is exactly what they used to be back in the day, because online, unless you knew you wasn't online back in the PS2 era. There was ways to get online, like, and there was multiplayer, but you had to be, if you know. But this is more so, you can still get this aesthetic in Call of Duty. Like, they don't have to remove skins to go back to what they once were. I do get what he's saying. Like, it's a little wacky now because you can get a bunch of random ass, weird ass skins. And he was even rocking a skin in his gameplay. But it's like, I get what he's saying, but like, I like the skins. Like, I haven't really bought that many skins off the store, like, because I'm not really one to like indulge in too much crazy microtransaction shit. But I definitely do have a skin I bought off the store though, and you know what I'm saying, I think they are alright. You feel me? If they, because sometimes they be really, really cool. Someone's be like, "Fuck is this?" But if someone's be like, "No, that's not bad," like, I can see why somebody spend their money on that.
Styles and aesthetics crammed into the game. This trend started with Black Ops 2 from what I recall, and it really began to accelerate with Advanced Warfare. Player customization obtained in various ways, from supply drops, challenges, weapons could look a bit different. You had the infamous clown mask, and with the rise in financial success of in-game microtransactions, live service, etc., the player skins and weapon skins are more outlandish than ever before. So when lapsed or even existing non-regular Call of Duty players come back to try the game,
at the end of the day, like, you can go play single player and you can get all the Call of Duty aesthetics you're looking for, like all the old Call of Duty aesthetics you're looking for, the tactical war aesthetic, right? You're only gonna run into this online. You feel me? You're gonna run into this on Warzone. You're gonna run into this in multiplayer, like. So it's like, I hear him, but nah, like I don't think this really matters. Like, you feel me? I get it though. You feel me? Like I said, some skins be cool as shit. Feel me? But it is what it is. If you want to spend your money on it, spend it.
By the new Warzone, maybe they come back for Verdansk and they see this kind of thing, these colorful fantasy skins in a franchise that used to be grounded and authentic when they played it. That could potentially
not only that, some of them skins you can get your ass killed. That's why the Rose skin was so good, because it was all black and you can't really see that bitch, and she can move at the speeds that some people were moving. You look like a shadow out there. You feel me? Like a deadly shadow. But if you fucking around with that big bunny head, your ass gonna get took out. Your ass gonna be dead. You a bigger target. That's all it is.
It isn't the game, the franchise they remember anymore, and they start to feel like maybe what they used to know and love isn't for them now. They don't play it again. And you know what? That's okay. People move on, but I suppose it depends on how much of an impact the lack of realistic aesthetic and identity is actually hurting the game. I don't have the data for that, of course, but I feel like it should be a consideration, as I've seen many people discuss this. It isn't some niche topic, and there's a huge audience of FPS multiplayer gamers who want to play in realistic, authentic worlds where they can play a role and sink into a fantasy. COD is missing out on that now. It's something to think about, and perhaps a solution to this that would please both parties is to have a simple toggle switch in the options that says, only show me default and authentic skins. Next, oh boy, cheats. I cannot believe that after 5 years, 5 years after all of the calls, the feedback sessions, the Reddit posts, the tweets, the blogs, the videos, the clips, the lawsuits, Warzone and Call of Duty still has a gigantic problem with cheaters. It's as worse as it's ever been, and the community does not trust that anything can be done to ameliorate the cheating situation. It's out of control. Legit players are getting shadow banned more often than ever now too. People don't trust each other and question every kill cam. The cheating situation is so bad that some people actually believe Activision develop cheats themselves and then sell them to cheat websites who sell them to players.
That would be absolutely insane.
I realize that this is not an easy job for the developers. It's an ongoing battle, and it can never be won by either side, especially when there's money involved. But it's quite clear that Call of Duty is losing, and it does not have control of this at all. And it's hard to know where to start discussing this too, because there's so many factors at play, but this really started to become a widespread problem when Modern Warfare 19 introduced crossplay with PC and console, and Warzone released as free-to-play, exposing that huge console audience to things that they'd never seen before. Rage hacking, aimbots, wall hacks, flying cars, DDoS attacks. It showed all of this stuff to a massive group that hadn't seen it before.
All I gotta say is, to the cheaters, get better. Like, imagine me, just because I got my ass kicked whatever time I was playing Call of Duty. I'm like, I'm gonna cheat, I'm gonna get cheats. Like, and you even have some good players that get cheats. Like, I've seen cheaters who be slide canceling and all that, but they genuinely, like you said, rage hack because they got their ass kicked. So you want, if you can't beat them, join them type shit. Like, nigga, you're ass. Like, get better. Like I wasn't, if I can go back to PlayStation 4 footage right now of my first, like, initial, like, games on Warzone, I was a bot. Because I never played a battle royale before. You feel me? Never played a battle royale before. So it's like, I had to get better. So if you go from back then to my recent gameplay, even on my YouTube channel, it's night and day. Like, I would have thought I was a demon right now. Like, if I would have looked at myself in the future, 2024, because that's the last time I really played Warzone, I would have thought I was a demon. I would have thought I ran into an absolute monster. Like, it's because it's like, you just got to get better. You just got to get better.
Already talking about it, and I'm going to keep this short because it's been discussed ad infinitum, but here's some things they could do that I feel would actually make a meaningful impact. Some of this stuff wouldn't be easy, It would be a difficult decision, but I think it would help. And bear in mind that I play on PC too, so I would suffer from some of this. Step 1, give console players the option for console-only crossplay. So PC players can only play with console players if the console player allows that in their matchmaking filters.
A lot of people would
if they're in a
activate
party
that.
together.
Like
Yes,
you can
for
only
legit
play
PC
against
players,
Xbox
this would have a
players or
big
PlayStation
negative
players.
impact on matchmaking times, but sometimes a wolf has got to chew off its own
That's not a
leg to
bad idea.
survive. This could be a good fix in the interim while they look at bolstering other forms of protection.
Right.
Step 2, roll out a mandatory always-on secure boot anti-cheat for PC. Go down the same route as Valorant. Talk to Riot Games, get it done. Initially, people will complain en masse. If they want to play on PC, they've got to install it. No one trusts COD right now. This would be difficult, but in the long term, the benefits of having a clean game and a clean reputation would far outweigh the initial outrage and backlash. Step 3, in 2024, Microsoft bought Activision for $68.7 billion.
Exactly.
Call of Duty is now owned by Microsoft. What do Microsoft make? They make Windows. You play Call of Duty on PC with Windows. They're probably doing this already, but work more with the Windows team. Work with Microsoft. Come up with a better solution for fighting cheaters on PC, because what you got right now isn't enough and it's ineffective. And
Facts.
step 4, implement if it's not there already. I guess it was. And if it is, rely way more on real-time, in-game statistical analysis of players. From a data standpoint, obvious cheaters and rage hackers do things that human beings cannot. If that kind of obviously inhuman behavior is detected in a match, just ban it straight away. Moving on, skill-based matchmaking, engagement-based matchmaking, whatever you want to call it, however you define it, however they define it. If you're watching this video, you know roughly what it is. In this section, I'm not going to discuss if I think it's a good or bad thing overall. I'm just going to tell you how I feel when I play this game. This feeling started with Modern Warfare 2019.
Right.
When I play quick play in Call of Duty now, be that more...
And allegedly, they say it's been in the game for a long time, but cap. I feel like that's cap. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a certain point where they definitely did amp it up. If it has been in the game, they definitely turned the sliders up on that skill-based matchmaking. Like, cap.
Multiplayer or Warzone, I feel like I'm being manipulated. I feel a severe lack of gameplay variety. I feel like I play with and against the same players over and over. I feel like my ping is higher on average. I feel like I wait longer for matches than ever before, and I feel like I can't play with my friends. In 2024, Call of Duty released a couple of blogs and white papers explaining how their matchmaking system works. In total, 44 pages of information. 44 pages!
You know what's crazy? That shit, I mean, it very well could have been useful information on them 44 pages, but it could have also been a bunch of bullshit. They put that out, like, ain't nobody gonna read this. Like, ain't no way.
There's
like,
graphs and data. It's available for free for everyone to see and read. I think it's a fascinating piece, and I really appreciate the communication from them.
It very well could have useful information.
On the first page, it states the following. As the community will attest, ping is king. Connection is the most critical and heavily weighted factor in the matchmaking process. I'm sorry to say, this does not line up with my experience of the game at all. It's like pointing at an orange and telling me over and over again that it's a banana. How can ping be king when there's a 44-page document explaining how the matchmaking works and all of these other factors are a big consideration? When I saw this for the first time, I found it quite funny, and in my head I'm doing this. So imagine a player clicks play to start matchmaking.
That's what I'm saying,
and behind
like 44 pages, thanks for the communication, but yeah.
the scenes, we see the matchmaking algorithm man trying to find a game for them.
That's why people use
first
VPNs
thing,
now.
Connection. Where are they based? North America,
This
East
whole
Coast.
problem.
Cool. So here's some nearby servers, and look, 50,000 people currently searching for a game in North America. Brilliant. And then we need to think about how long they've been waiting for. Let's check. Okay, so only a few seconds so far. No worries. Okay, great. I found a super low ping server that they can play in here. 5 millisecond connection. Amazing. The game is just about to start. Whoa, wait. No. We can't put them in there because their kill death ratio is too low for that lobby. I just lost a load of good servers there. Hang on a second. What platform are they on? Xbox? Okay, so maybe we can put them with more Xbox players in this lobby. Wait, no, we can't. Average score per minute, slightly higher compared to the other players in there. So that would weigh the lobby too far in one team's favor and would be less likely to be a close match. It's going to be 90% chance instead of 95% chance. Unacceptable. How long have they waited now? Oh God, it's getting long. So what about this lobby? They don't have voice chat turned on. Can't put them in there. God, the selection of players is really getting a lot smaller now. What about the... No, not in there. So, oh, they're playing on controller. Good. How about this lobby with PlayStation players also using controller? Bit of crossplay. Good,
This
good.
is really probably how it
Don't be
goes,
silly.
too.
They just played on this map before. Can't put them in there. Sorry. I'm really not sure about this. I mean, they could go in this low ping lobby that I
Algorithm all
found, but
fucked
nah.
up.
Playlist diversity and their KD is too high for that lobby. So there's no way. Oh, hang on. This one looks good so far. Check. Check. I found a good one here. It's the perfect match. Everything lines up. Skill, platform, voice chat, input, maps, playlist diversity, 0.99 chance of a close game. The numbers make sense, but yeah, I've ruled out so many other servers now. This lobby's going to be 60 ping for that player. Screw it. You know what? Throw them in there. They've waited too long. Who cares if they have a worse experience because of the ping? Go complain on Reddit, loser. See you in the next match. That's Call of Duty matchmaking. That's how it feels to me. That is not ping is king. If ping was king, a player would click play. It would find any group of players searching to fill a lobby in a server close to them, put them in a group together and start the match as quick as possible. That's actually what ping is king would be.
Right.
That's not how the current system is at all. So you should know, if you're playing COD today, based on the information in the document they provided, in any mode that you play, you have a hidden rating, profile, and analytics on you that are being used to put you in a lobby that it deems acceptable. Skill and engagement are big factors. You're filling a hole. And no matter what level you're at, you can't see your own or other skill rating in the game. It will always try to match you with players of similar skill. If you think that's a good or bad thing, that's up to you. It limits the amount of people you play with. It has a negative...
I feel like my opinion on skill-based matchmaking is like, I feel like trying to hide bad players from good players is, come on now. Like, their logic is, oh, well, let's keep these higher guys up here, these good players up here, because we don't want to discourage the bad players, right? So let's hide them down here where they can only fight amongst each other. But in my opinion, I feel like that keeps them at the same skill level. Like, imagine being bad, playing with bad all the time, and you thinking you're good. Facts. Word. Case in point. Example. Shout out to my nigga Darnell. You feel me? When me, shout out my nigga Letty. Word. Shout out my nigga Letty. When me, my man Letty, and Darnell play, right? I would say I'm the best out of us three, right? When us three play together, I'm probably the best out of us three. Then my nigga Letty, then my man Darnell, right? But my man Darnell, like, his KD is way below ours. Like, it's me, then it's Letty, then he's on the floor with it. Just picture the floor. That's his skill. That's where his skill is at, right? Fam. He'll even say when we play together, like, obviously it mixes the lobbies up and it mixes the players up because we're on 3 different skill levels. So it has to put us in a lobby where it's like, you feel me? It's reasonable for at least all 3 of us to play, at least to a degree. He'll say, he said this before, word 2, I remember. He said, yo, fam, when I play by myself, I'm him. Like, I'm dropping, I'm at the top. I'm having the kill, the last kill, the game kill cam. I'm having the top score. I'm him, right? But he like, yo, when I play with y'all, I can't even, I'm going negative every game. And that's my exact point. When you put players of a certain skill level at the bottom and try to hide them from the top, the top skill level, the top part of the skill level, the top end, they don't get better. So now when you go play with your friends who are better than you, you have a tough time because they tried to hide you from the skill. You ain't get better. You had no desire to get better because you was playing with dudes who were on your skill level that you happen to be possibly better than. You feel me? So it's like, that's my opinion. It's like, yo, people just got to get better, bro. Like, gaming, you got to evolve. Like I said, when I first started playing Warzone, I was a bot. You feel me? Now I can get right with a lot of players, even the demons. Like, I'm not saying I'm beating everybody in every fight, because you don't. You win, so you lose some. But that's the whole point. You can't expect to win every single fight. But what you can do is you can get better and give yourself a better chance to win those fights instead of the game trying to basically hold your hand. No, take them training wheels off. You feel me? Ride that bike. You feel me? Because listen, you can't be on training wheels when you're grown, when you're an adult. You got to get off that bike at some point. You got to get off them training wheels at some point. You feel me? And get on a big boy bike. You feel me? So it's like, I don't know. They tripping with that skill based matchmaking. Like you can't hold everybody's hand, bro.
Impact on your connection,
and it ain't making players no better.
In the game, and it extends the time waited searching for a game. If they continue with this system in Warzone and multiplayer,
and you know what, another thing is too, like, just because like every game ain't gonna be full of demons. Facts. Like even when I play Call of Duty multiplayer, right? Every game is not just me. Like it gets annoying sometimes because you have those days where it's like you in a COD champs match every game, but then I have games where I'm like, yo, this ain't that bad. Like, so I don't see how that can't be a consistent thing across the board for everybody. Like, you might have a couple of bots in your lobby, then you might have a couple of demons, but then you might have a couple average players or slightly below average. Like, why can't the lobbies be dictated like that? Why does it have to be, oh, these players up here, these players down there? You feel me? Nah, like, stop with the skill-based matchmaking nonsense because it's not good for anybody in my opinion. Like, it's not good for anybody. Like,
only going to get more accurate over time, by the way. It would be great to let players in game see their own rating and other players' rating for each lobby. I think that would go a long way. Related to this, thanks to some community members and notably the efforts of content creator Exclusive Ace, they discovered the only way to see some small reference for your behind the scenes skill rating is by submitting a data and information privacy request on the Activision website. It takes a few days to receive this, but it does show you your perceived skill value. There's not much context to it though, and no visibility of the players that you were playing with and against, but what it does reveal is a heavily reactive system that's constantly updating. I'd recommend watching Exclusive Ace's videos on this if you're interested to learn more. Wrapping this bit up, the discussion around matchmaking in COD games has become overwhelmingly toxic now. It's created more distrust in the community, and there are conspiracy theories such as skill-based damage and easier matchmaking if you buy bundles from the store. There's also
folks out here. It's to the point where it's damn near an actual thing now. Like it's like I don't even know if we know for a fact, but it's like people think there's like skill-based hit registration. Like if you're too good, your bullets don't hit, but if you're a bot, your bullets are hitting. Like they got something. What do you call it? Super bullets and all that. Like it's crazy out here. The theories is crazy.
Figure out ways constantly to subvert these systems through various methods. I don't know what the answer is here, but for this section, I'll leave you with this. The notion of an old school, casual, and unfiltered multiplayer experience has gone. Every match, regardless of your skill, is essentially a ranked match with no rank progression and no context of how and why you performed the way you did.
That's the purpose of ranked. Why am I playing in a ranked match every game when I'm not playing ranked? There should be a casual lobby where you could play with anybody across any type of skill level, and there should be ranked. Instead, it's ranked across the board. Makes no sense.
You did. You should know that you're always playing ranked, but it's just not called that. I feel like Call of Duty has forgotten that it's a toy to be played with, and their matchmaking system is designed to manipulate you and keep you playing for longer. Next, bugs. Honestly, there's been so many bugs with Warzone.
That's why you'll have a good game, but then you'll have a shit ton of bad games. It just seems that
Warzone has way more than average,
you don't perform
and they take
way
longer
too well.
to fix. There's been a notable pattern too that when there are problems with the store, they're often fixed sooner in a much quicker fashion. That might just be because a store problem is generally easier to fix than a gameplay problem though, but it's happened enough times now that it sends the wrong message and it creates a narrative within the community.
Exactly.
Moving on,
it's
server
like,
performance.
Y'all gonna fix that thing that give y'all that money? When you get the money, y'all gonna fix it, but when it come to gameplay, I ain't fixing that thing. Y'all taking weeks, months.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? Combined with the complex matchmaking system, you can get into some pretty rough servers with packet loss and high pings.
Oh my God, listen, I have a video right now on my YouTube, on my gaming YouTube channel, Finesse Dog. Check it out. But it's about basically the whole thing with the packet loss. Yo, when I first got Black Ops, the first couple of days was cool. After that, for weeks, I was dealing with packet loss and latency issues. I couldn't even play. I had to put the game down until they updated the game. I couldn't even play. And they updated it and it got a little bit better, but it's still not the greatest. I couldn't play. Like, it was crazy.
And they can be crashed by hackers now. And while there's no official data, third-party testers have surmised that the game runs at between 15 to 20 tick rate. I'm no game developer and I'm very ignorant to this, but my understanding of it is that the higher the tick rate, the more real up-to-date version each player has of the game. In layman's terms, it's how fast everything in a lobby updates. The faster the better. Some games like Valorant have a 128 tick rate, so the response is very fast and hit registration, taking damage, etc. more often than not feels accurate. Obviously, Warzone has a much higher player count than Valorant of 100 to 150 players, so there may be technical problems with increasing the tick rate. I assume it would also cost more money for Activision to run higher tick rate servers, but as I mentioned before, they are owned by Microsoft now, so perhaps
y'all got the bread. Y'all literally squeeze every nickel and dime out of everybody. Y'all got the bread. Fix the servers.
That's what I'm going to do, you know? I don't even know if it would help with Warzone, but in my simple brain, it makes sense. It would be a nice olive branch for the community to spend a bit more time and money on server performance.
Right.
Other large player count games in the past, like Battlefield 4, for example, with 64 players, did have high tick rate servers up to 120 hertz if you wanted. That felt super snappy, good to play on, and 60 hertz then became the standard going forward. So I feel like it should be possible for Warzone too. And higher tick rate servers should definitely be there already in multiplayer for smaller gamers like S&D hardpoint domination. I'm sure those upgrades would make a massive positive impact on rank play and of course competitive, the Pro League. I think it's important that we talk about trust as well. Call of Duty has been having a very hard time with this over the last 2 years or so, I would say, and it would appear on the surface that trust within the fan base and vocal community is at an all-time low. On almost every social media post or YouTube video, there is a slew of negative comments and sentiment, sometimes even community notes. It mainly revolves around fixing the game, the cheating situation, and focusing on selling bundles and event passes.
Crazy? This is across the board. Bad players, good players, from all different skill levels. Everybody hate the game. It ain't just good players complaining. It's everybody across the board. It's crazy.
Instead of addressing problems with the game. The recent Squid Game event is an example of that. It gives the impression that their priorities are not in the right place. I also mentioned the thing about store errors too in the bug section that are promptly fixed. Other bad examples that soured trust are like during Warzone 2 when DMZ was being updated still. They sold store bundles that gave you pretty big gameplay advantages like always spawning in at the start of a round with a UAV. It all makes people wonder what else could be going on behind the scenes. Generally, speaking about microtransactions too, Call of Duty feels like it crams so much of that down your throat nowadays that you get sick of the taste. The battle passes, the store, black sell, events, skins, collabs, paid for passes in your face as soon as you boot up the game. It's way too focused on the business and engagement side of things, and I think it's really starting to have a negative.
I know I ain't played Warzone in a minute, or not even just Warzone. I know I ain't played COD in a minute, because literally this whole time this Squid Games thing was going on, this event, I didn't even get on. I didn't even get on to experience it. Feel me?
Impact on the gameplay and player base now. Trust is important, and the only way out of this is to start actually delivering good updates and fixes. Shift the focus to the gameplay. More transparent communication would be nice too. But
I hate to be pausing this shit too much because this is a long video, but you would think too, like, how is gameplay for a video game not priority number one? When that's what we bought the game to do, play the game. How did we lose that sight? How do we go money over gameplay? Do these companies realize that, newsflash, if your game was good, we the people will bring the bread. We'll bring the money to your house if the game is great. Make the game great first, and the people will spend money second every single time. It's like they forgot. They put money first before gameplay, but it's like, fam, if we don't like the gameplay, then we're not going to spend the money. Simple as that.
Ultimately, I feel like they should stop saying they're going to do things and instead just start doing the things and let the improvements do the talking.
Right.
Wrapping things up because I don't want this video to go on too long. It probably already is, but I feel like many of these issues that I have could be rectified if they were to separate Warzone from the main Call of Duty titles so they weren't shackled and bound by that anymore. Make it a separate game with its own dedicated dev team, engine, weapon values, cycles, vision, etc. They need a fresh start and to go back to the drawing board, really diving into what made 2020 Warzone so good in the first place. It has started to become tiresome every year when there's a new COD game to learn, unlock and grind all these new weapons for Warzone, and every time they do a new integration, it shakes up the gameplay too much in my opinion. The art style changes, the vibe changes, the gameplay changes, turning players away from what they knew and throwing too many curveballs at them. PUBG, as I mentioned at the start of the video, it's the only battle royale game right now that I still play somewhat regularly. As of making this video on a Sunday in January,
one game of PUBG
has 507,000 players on PC Steam right now, with a 24-hour peak of 758,000. That's impressive. In the 7+ years that the game has been out, it hasn't massively deviated from its original vision at launch either. It is still a battle royale. They added more big maps over time. They didn't try and shake up the game mechanics every year or make drastic sweeping changes. The movement is exactly the same as day one, apart from some good quality of life changes which were added, such as vaulting and hoisting. I enjoy kicking back on the game, playing with friends from time to time. And I don't engage with the battle pass or cosmetics either. I don't care about the progression. I just play the game and enjoy it for what it is, a game. Warzone needs to break away, in my opinion. It needs to draw a clean line in the sand where they can build from scratch again and define what it is and what it wants to be. As a player, I'm looking for that level of consistency. A clean break would also be a great opportunity for the COD team to tell players that from this point in time, any purchases they make are staying with them in Warzone, so they feel that they can invest and commit to the game in the long term.
And that's a fact, because when they introduced Warzone 2, you know how many people bought skins like since Modern Warfare 2019, since Warzone was implemented, and they had to leave them behind because Warzone 2 was on a new engine. So that's a fact.
Fortnite, for example, that isn't even a question. You know that whatever's on your account
and
stays.
I think they shut down the servers for like Warzone 1, so you can't even go play like Warzone 1 in the old Warzone with your skins. You can go play old Call of Duties like 2019 and up, Black Ops, and well, even not, you can't even do that because the games, I don't even think you can use like a 2019 skin in like Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard and whatnot. So you had to play each individual game to experience your purchases. Like, it's crazy.
It's on your account and it will be accessible to you. On Steam, when Black Ops 6 released, the daily concurrent player count of the COD launcher was 306,000. Remember, that encompasses multiple COD games too. As of today, that number is currently sitting at 50,000 concurrent players. Remember, these games are available on Game Pass, Battle.net, and consoles too. So the actual overall player number is much higher than this, but what the Steam charts show us is a trend. If COD is losing this many daily players on Steam, it's probably losing a proportionate amount on the other platforms too. This time it definitely feels a bit different to me. When Warzone released, it was a nice white t-shirt. You wore it every day, you washed it. It came back looking like new, smelling great. Each time there was a new season, a big map update to Verdansk, a new point of interest, you felt the excitement. The Halloween event was incredible. Then you got killed by a cheater for the 10th time. That left a stain. And then the server lagged out again. That left a stain. And then you got squad wiped in the final circle by someone glitching under the map. New stain. And then you were told that the cosmetics you paid for didn't carry across to the next version of the game. Big stain. You couldn't use your kill streak. Stain. You try and wash it and you can't get those stains out, but you keep playing, trying it again, and then you get killed by someone who made no footstep sounds running on the floor.
You know what's the craziest thing about cosmetics too? They'll introduce like, boom, I had a Snoop Dogg, right? I just ended up accumulating so much COD points that I was able to buy something out the store without having to spend bread, right? So I bought the Snoop Dogg skin, right? On back on Vanguard when they released the Snoop Dogg skin. Bam. Warzone 2 comes out, Modern Warfare 2 comes out, the new Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2 comes out, and they had a new engine, and I had to leave that Snoop Dogg on the old game, right? The old version of the game, right? Fam, they literally dropped a new Snoop Dogg skin. Fast forward, they dropped a new Snoop Dogg skin, I think last year, in Modern Warfare 3. You think I was buying that? No. They should at least, if you're going to redrop the same skin or at least the same character, like, you got to at least give people like a free buy, like a free skin, like, because ain't no way I'm buying Snoop Dogg twice when he's still Snoop Dogg both times. No, you're bugging. I need that for the free.
Next to you, new stain. Then a flying hacker car wipes you out. Stain. They take your favorite game mode away.
A flying hacker
new
car,
stain.
that's crazy.
Your game crashes with a dev error. Stain. You take the t-shirt off, you throw it in the washer, one more spin, comes out, no difference. It doesn't change. There's too many stains on it. They've left too many marks. And you know what? You're not going to wear that t-shirt anymore. Warzone needs a new t-shirt.
I might wear it to work.
This game was a
Nah, for
massive
real.
deal for Call of Duty.
That's about it.
Free to play, exciting
But it
and
ain't
fresh.
fresh.
I spent hours having fun on the game with friends, but I don't play it much at all anymore. I find that kind of sad considering how good it used to be, and I hope that we can come back to that in the future. Yes, I know Warzone 2020, it wasn't perfect. There were some big issues with balance, dead silence,
True.
stopping power, etc. But goddamn, it
Oof,
was
that
fun
stopping
as hell.
power. Ooh.
Simple, easy to understand,
Boy, oh boy.
easy to pick
That
up,
Deddy.
and an amazing
Legendary.
sandbox to play in. Perhaps we'll never get back to that, and perhaps that's okay, but I think that the foundation that they had there should have been
fuck was he
nurtured and
doing?
improved upon instead of being broken
This
down
was a
time and
dangerous
time
hill.
again. Luckily, we're sport for choice, and there are plenty of other amazing games to choose from right now.
Boy, I remember
wish
them,
the developers luck going forward,
train
and I'll
station
be
days.
keeping a close eye on updates. Thanks for watching. Do let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
W. But yeah, man, it's just COD's in shambles, bro. Like I said, you can't. I was gonna say listen to the people, and yes, you should listen to the people, but the right people. You feel me? The right constructive criticism, because some people are just gonna tell you to cater to them and their needs. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But like a bot might tell you, take the movement out the game. You feel me? Because they don't like getting slid up on and their camera getting broke. But it's like, you just got to listen to the right constructive criticism. Like a video like this should be shown to the devs, like, and other videos similar to it, because I feel like there were some really great points brought up. Some personal preference, but some really great across the board points. You feel me? But I don't know. I don't know if they ever going to be able to make Warzone that much greater again. It was like lightning in a bottle because we were all inside the house, so everybody was playing the game. And back in the pandemic, but you would hope they can get back to some sort of that feeling. Maybe not exactly that, like I said, because it was like lightning in a bottle, but some got to give. Like, y'all got to at least make COD great again, at least the base game of COD, and maybe Warzone follow suit, because that shit in shambles right now, B. But anyway, you feel me? W video. It's your boy Finesse Dog. We out.